Alright, welcome to the Note Lord Enjoys Guide to Souling Myrkul as a monk. In this case, a pure monk. You can go thief, but I was pure monk when I did it, so I'm sticking to that. I'll explain the thief in a little bit. We are a wood elf, we're not Githyanki, so we're not of mage hand, so we are going to have to throw our hair spore grenades ourselves, which is, you know, it's whatever. It's nice to have the mage hand. We don't need it, but having that action freed up by a mage hand is really nice, so I do recommend Githyanki. Depends on what you want to do and where you want to go in terms of your class, but just in general, having mage hand for this fight is really, really nice. We're going to go monk, obviously, because we're monk. So stats, I'm just going to quickly run through these. We're dumping strength because we're going Cloud Giant Elixir. Dexterity isn't major. It is initiative in AC, but we will, we're not using it for damage, so it's just initiative in AC. So that's at 16, that's all we really need. Constitution is 15. Why that? Because we're getting Tavern Brawler. Tavern Brawler is going to push us to 16 and also make our punches hit like a truck. Intelligence in this fight is completely useless. I always dump intelligence regardless anyway. It's a very specific stat. Wisdom. Now, wisdom isn't used in this fight itself in terms of rolls, but we use it for AC and damage. And I'll explain that when we can actually see it in game and how it's playing out. Charisma, that's just what was left. You might as well have a little bit of charisma. Intelligence is useless, strength is useless because Cloud Giant Elixir and nothing to do with intelligence in this fight. So might as well have it in charisma just to help with the Ketheric roll. So we're going to go through, we're going to level up. Level 2, you get, key points, movement speed, you get your step of the wind, dash, disengage, and patient defense. That's standard, that's cool. We won't be using those. We are going to go Way of the Open Hand, because Way of the Open Hand is sick. We get our flurries here. This is where our damage is going to come from. This is what we're going to be enhancing throughout the fight. Feet, naturally again, we're going to go Tavern Brawler, push our con to 16. This is where we get our extra attack and more key points and stunning strikes. We're not going to be using the melee one, it's just unarmed. You do have an option if you want to use Doom Hammer this fight to be a little bit safer, you can, but that is going to drop your DPS. I didn't use Doom Hammer when I did this, so I'm not going to do it this time. Level 6 is really nice because we get our Key Empowered Strikes as well. So we get Key Empowered Strikes, and that's going to help us get past Myrkul's physical bludgeoning resistances, and we'll just do straight damage. No, nothing will be halved, anything like that. That'd be nice. Move speed, key points. For Myrkul, obviously, don't use necrotic. It's not going to do any damage. You can use psychic. You can use radiant. Pick whichever one you want. I like radiant because radiant's cool. Because we can do this, you can go the Radiant Orb and Reverberation gear on a monk. It's reliable. You aren't going to be on cloth, so it will change your stats and where you're allocating those a little bit, or at least how they impact your build. Because end of the day, pretty sure if I remember correctly, if you use armor, the only thing you're losing is your wisdom buff to armor. But you've got armor, so wisdom buffs your AC, but you've got armor, so it doesn't matter. And really, it's just your unarmored move speed I think you're losing. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that's the only major one that you lose. And we get Wholeness of Body. Wholeness of Body is really, really nice. Don't forget to use this. Use this all the time. Anytime you're entering a fight that's a bit scary, especially as soon as you get it at level 6, sorry. So if you're playing on region locked like we do, or at least partially region locked, you'll get this in the Underdark. Use it. Use this. It's really, really good. It's just more damage. Now, if you're not going straight monk, this is where you would go your 3 or 4 rogue if you want to. If you're level 10, you can go 4 for the extra feet, but you do miss out on Stillness of Mind. So this is a double-edged sword in this fight. This is an ability that's a bit of point of controversy for monks, because you have no control over this. It does auto cost an action to free you from Charmed or Frightened, which is nice. For being frightened, yeah, it's nice just to get that off immediately. The Charmed one, not so much. If this was toggleable, that would be great. Evasion, great. We'll do no damage if we save the 7th roll against the spell, more key points. But we're gonna accommodate for this because we're expecting this to proc in the fight and rob us of an action. So we are going to accommodate this. I'm going to level 8. More key points. Feet. Now, feet-wise, I went Wisdom for higher damage and AC. You might be asking, why am I... I'll quickly cover this. Why am I at 16 Wisdom and not 17 with the Ethel hair? I chose to put anti-Ethel hair into Wisdom. Because we've also got Char buff, and Char buff gives us 5. So if we had 17 and then to 18 and then 1 more and then 5 more. So 17 into 1 more to 18 into 5 more. That's uneven numbers. So I kept it at 16. And then Ethel hair and the Char buff will boost this to 24. So that's really nice. So that's more damage, more AC. You could put it into Dex. You could put it into Dex for more AC, but that's just AC and Initiative. I personally prefer more AC and more damage over more AC and Initiative. We get our key resonate. I think these are underrated. I think people... It also looks kind of cool when you get a low group of them. There's your number move speed, more key points. I think these are really, really handy. Really handy, because if you are going to just punch someone, you might as well use a key resonating punch. We're not really going to be using key resonating bonus action, because why do less damage? We've got flurries. We can do 2 hits instead of 1. And then this key resonation blast, that is free to cast. Well, it costs key points, but it's free to cast. It's not an action or a bonus action. So it's all it really is an extra little bit of damage at the end of your turn. So against someone like Myrkul, you want that. And then we come here and we get Purity of Body, can't be poisoned. It's not really going to affect us here. Move speed and key points. So that's that. Now, when it comes to our setup, we are going to spawn the boys. I'm unsure which one is better. The fire one, Azza, or however the hell you pronounce it, is tankier and has higher AC. So I do like to have him. I'll quickly note, I do have Potion of Invisibility on the ground here. That's what these are here. I've got them already set up, so I want to be really careful as to not set those off. We want them just to chill. I'm going to get all the boys in. Right. And then... Right, so I've sorted my bars out. Always thing to remember. Always select one of these. It is off by default. You want that damage going onto your unarmed attacks. Your unarmed strikes. Don't forget to turn this on. It's really, really sad. It's a lot of damage. You know, because of the boost with the Char buff, we're getting an extra 8 to 11 on each consecutive hit, which is pretty big, considering how many hits we're actually going to be doing. I want to go over the build now. We've gone... See, this isn't the greatest, but in terms of Monk and what is offered to us, if you want to do what I do and run around in cloth to be more true, you know, it's personal preference. You can go armor if you want to. You can go cloth. I prefer cloth just because it kind of fits the Monk more. I like doing that on my pure runs. I like to feel like the class that I'm playing. This is just for the spell save DC, nothing special. Claw protection, obviously, it's the best one you got right now. Adds AC, adds a saving throw to keep up protection from evil and good. Infernal Robe, really nice to get this early, just for the armor class. Now, it does give us Fire Shield, and that is 2 to 16 damage. If we get hit with melee attacks, which is going to happen because we are melee, we are gonna be right in there in Myrkul's face. But I'd prefer to cast another Flourish over this. The damage is nice, but Flourishes are just going to destroy that in damage. 2 to 16 versus 52 baseline to 78. It's a no-brainer. It's not worth casting this for this fight. Got Gloves of Cinder and Sizzle just for the extra fire damage. Now you can go Crushing for the +1 attack and 2 bludgeoning damage. Technically, the 1d4 fire is going to be more. I think it averages out about 2.5 versus the 2 Crushing. So the damage really isn't the factor. The factor is if you want +1 to your attack. Now, I'm always torn because we do have Tavern Brawler, so we are going to be hitting pretty reliably. So it's not that much of a big deal. But I'll leave that up to you. If you want to do a little bit less damage and be safer, you can go Gloves of the Automaton. You can do that. You're also doubling your crit chances there as well. So it's probably better to go that, but this is what I used at the time. This is what I had on, so I want to stay true to that. Evasive Shoes, Acrobatics is whatever. Armor class, simple. No No melee weapon because we're a monk. We punch people. We don't slash people. Bow of awareness purely for that +1 to initiative rolls to help us. Blessed ring. Hi, future me here. Apologies, but I got this footage when I just woke up and then I immediately went and did this fight. Neither of these 2 rings apply here. You can't heal on the platform, so Whispering Promise is out of the picture. And Killer Sweetheart doesn't proc on unarmed attacks. Now, there is 2 locations, both in front and behind Myrkul, where you can heal, but we don't necessarily know if that's intended, so we don't necessarily like using them. So yeah, basically, instead of these 2 rings, go Ring of Protection and then something of your choice. I like going Risky Ring. It is risky, but Stillness of Mind cancels the fear, so it kind of takes away the risk. And then we've got what I believe is quite an unpopular one, but this amulet is really nice for this fight. We're not going to go the healing amulet. We're not going to go the amulet to max out our heals. Periaptic wound closure. Periaptic wound closure, that's the one. I forgot the name of it. We're not going to go that because our plan isn't to run off and on the platform. Our plan is to get in with Myrkul and punch the shit out of him till he's dead. So we are going to be taking melee hits. Those melee hits are slashing damage. Do get vulnerability against bludgeoning, but bludgeon damage is non-existent in this fight. We are going to be taking bludgeon damage. You don't even need to worry about that. You can also go Amulet of the Harpers for that once per long rest shield to negate entirely a hit, which is nice, but it's once. Yeah, it is nice to completely dodge that hit. You'd have to do the math on this. But I personally prefer to half all the damage, at least all the melee damage I'm going to be taking off Myrkul versus negating 1 hit. In its entirety. That's a build. We're gonna get right into the fight in just a second. Alright, so let's get into Myrkul. We've got our boys ready to go. If you've seen the Gloomstalker video, this is the standard. It's repetitive, but at the same time, you're soloing Myrkul. If you find a strategy that works, even if it's a collection of strategies you've seen from other people, doesn't matter. What works. If he's dead, he's dead. We condone using everything you possibly can. We don't condone barrels. We're going to show you how to do this without barrels, purely because it's a lot more satisfying to kill him properly. It's a lot more satisfying. People want to use barrels, that's fine. You're also reliant on it, so if it doesn't go quite too well, it can go south. And you're also denying yourself that satisfaction of like, fuck yes, I did this. Like, I killed this thing. Right, so let's get right into the fight. We're going to leave these here for now. We don't need to worry about these. So what we are going to do is we are going to cast Protection from Good and Evil. That's the most important spell in this fight. We want this up all the time. Just want to get a little bit closer. We've got the Radiant damage on. Again, you can go Psychic if you want. I just think Radiant damage looks prettier on the bars with the fire. Just looks nicer. It's a nice, compared to purple, doesn't look as good. Radiant is the way to go. Then we're going to cast Mirror Image. We're going to cast a Fly, and we're going to cast a Speed Pot, and then we're going to go Invis. We're going to go turn-based. We're not going to jump over. Where is my Fly? Let me quickly just grab that. There it is. Okay. I've got a new UI mod, so I'm not really used to it. Alright. Let's get right up next to this Mind Flayer. We are good and ready to go. Brain Boys, I like them when they're over here. Don't know why. I just like them being further away from me. But it's whatever, quite honestly. I don't know if we can cast that and not break an invis. Should have casted that earlier. But, you know, mistakes are made. We'll deal with it. I'm going to pass this. Although I don't know why. Just come out of turn base when you do this. You don't need to pass your turn. What we are going to do. So we're going to open up with a flurry. It doesn't matter if it can be, you know, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be push. It can be stagger. It can be topple. I like topple for the advantage we get on him. Good damage. Good damage. Crits would be nice.
Perhaps you hope to learn. I will kill you now.
But we'll take what we can get.
And then I will raise
Again, I will say this. If you have guidance here as an option, do not click it. You'll break your protection from even good. And then you get absolutely shafted. And then you're just in trouble. You don't want to not have it up.
No.
So we've got Myrkul. That is good. Now, we are going to punch this in a second. We are going to kill it. Do not do this on the Mind Flayer. We're saving these for Myrkul. So, before we do anything, we're going to get Scratch. I'm going to run him through this invis port. We're going to go save Aelin. We're going to go save Aelin so she can miss every hit. Alright, Scratch is in the business. That is good. I'm going to go get Azza. If we can bait out a hit from Myrkul, a reaction of that would be really, 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 really nice. He missed. Sad times. We've got us to do it though. Us is our last line of defense. Sorry, last line of attack when it comes to baiting out a Gaze of the Dead. Again, we've got protection from evil and good to help us with that. But if we can not take a Gaze of the Dead, that's just better. Which is exactly what we get. Very nice. And we're going to run you. I don't think you need to invis pot this one. In fact, you probably do because you can't sneak him. So, yeah, invis pot him. Now, this deals... This should basically one-shot because of the bludgeon vulnerability. This will one-shot them. This can hit them all. Last time I used the AoE. This time I'm going to use this. Because I just want to compare. If you get good rolls on the AoE, it is nice. Right, so... Ooh. We're going to fly down here. And we'll go on the side. Ideally, I'll change this. You want to spread around Myrkul, not group up on him. Because of his melee attack is going to cleave you all. So we're going to go here. And we are going to throw our hair spore grenade. Don't hair spore Myrkul, by the way. I don't know if you can. I've never done it. But don't chance it. Make sure it's out here. And we've got an extra action. And we're going to pop Wholeness of Body. This is going to use an action. But it is going to give us, for 3 turns, an extra bonus action. Now, here's the decision you got here. You can either, instead of hitting him normally, you can either key resonation punch. Right? So you can either do key resonate or you can go for a stun. Now, I am going to go for a stun. Because if you can get it, it's really nice. So just crit with it. There we go. That's nice. So he's skipping another turn. These are the blasts. There's the bonus action. Let me I have to sort that out real quick. Have to do that. And now we just completely pile on Myrkul. Wholeness of Body is going to keep us fueled with bonus actions, which is really, really nice. He's going to hit them. Yeah, I think I prefer multi-attack over this. Get good rolls. This is nice on all of them, but I think I'm preferring multi-attack just for the consistency of it. Right. I'm going to send Scratch in just to keep the Brain Boys busy. Scratch will die, but he's not here to really do damage. Right, let's split these about while we're here. Very nice. Monk handles this fight really well, as you can see. Damage is really, really nice. Don't worry about this. The elemental will get it. All the Brain Boys are going to do their thing on Scratch. We'll see what Aelin does. Ideally, Aelin comes over here to Myrkul. And helps us kill him. Which usually like to go for the Brain Boys. And they are right next to us, so chances are we're just going to use this. Just to stop it popping up in our screen. Honestly, you might as well just disable it for this fight. Still got another crit in us. Close. I just had an idea. I guess you probably want to throw the Hispor grenade right around here. So you can try and try and proc it. Try and get Aelin to stand in it as well. So yeah, maybe push that to the side a little bit. Get rid of him. That's really good. And then we're gonna go for another stun. Ooh, concentration blocked. Right, so we just got our Protection of Good and Evil robbed. Now, this can be quite scary when you lose Protection of Good and Evil, but as a monk, we just keep in mind we do have Stillness of Mind, so don't be scared about not recasting it. Of course, it does consume an action, which hurts, but so does casting it as well. So it's up to you to make that decision whether you want to recast it or if you want to continue and rely on Stillness of Mind. That's why we have the Haste Ball Grenade to kind of counter that as well. It's not just for damage, it's so we can have Stillness of Mind and keep doing damage consistently. As you can see, Monk just decimates Myrkul. Absolutely decimates Myrkul. There it is. That's Myrkul solo. A lot easier. A lot less intimidating compared to Gloomstalker, in my opinion. Purely for the fact that you can negate and get around his armor.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Death.
So if you have any comments or any input, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Yeah, if you want to see us do it live, go to twitch.tv/NortLloydEnjoys and you can see us go through the pain of doing solos and duos.